if you're a Christian. There are some things indelibly marked upon your worldview that perhaps are so subtle you don't even notice them in how it affects your everyday life. For instance, the theme of redemption that we find in Luke 8 and Luke 9. When Jesus wakes up from his nap and the disciples are freaking out, and Christ intermittently calms the storm and then tells his disciples, "You need more faith." Well, the authority he presents to them in calming nature in that way is highlighted in the narrative that follows, at Gennesaret. I don't know if you've ever been harassed verbally by a demon, but it must have been scary. I would have been one of the disciples in the boat saying, "Let's go." Yeah, kind of freaky. Jesus doesn't take that approach. In fact, he steps out of the boat and treats the demon like a delinquent child and says to the demon, "What is your name? Okay, I need you to walk away and leave us alone. Go into the swine, run off the cliff, whatever." And so the competency, the authority that Christ is showing here implicitly tells the disciples who he is, and I think is very formative in how they view him. All they had in the situation in the storm was their faith in Christ. Another example, when Christ is going to heal someone from death, which is a rare event in human history, it's kind of a big deal, he pauses in the midst of the crowd because someone touched the hem of his garment, and virtue went out of him and healed her. And his disciples take this in stride because there are a lot of people. And they're like, "Come on, there are a lot of people here, let's go, there's someone dying, let's heal them." No, Christ is insistent, and he says, "Who touched me? Who touched me? Who touched me?" And finally the woman admits, what does he say to her? He says, "Your faith has made you whole, go in peace." These people whose child is dead, the woman with the issue of blood, the disciples in the storm, all they had was faith. They were impotent to help themselves in any capacity besides depending upon what Christ commands of them, that is, the faith. I think in our modern world of conveniences and with the 2,000 year of history that we can't help but know, or rather be affected by, uh, in the sense that redemption and faith, of course, it's part of our vocabulary, it's a part of who we are. But so much so, perhaps it's pushed to the background. And maybe in our everyday lives, I think Christ is calling us to act upon that in a more visual and concrete way. Mm-hmm. Anyway, that's what I have to say for this week. Have a great week. Until next week, goodbye. Auf Wiedersehen.